Hey YouTubers, this is Old John. My wife and I came out to make our weekly trip to the store in our 2004 Toyota Prius, and when we tried to turn it on, we got a message that there was a problem with the transmission P-lock mechanism. Park your car on a flat surface and fully apply the parking brake. Well, as you can see, we're in the garage, and it's definitely a flat surface. It's sloping a little bit towards the garage door, as it should. So this, we figured out, has to do with your starter battery is discharging, and it's too low to start the main batteries that run the Prius along with the gasoline engine. So if you have your car locked, which in our case we don't or didn't because it's in the garage, you can take the key that's part of your fob here. You can see it through that hole. Take it out and then open your doors without having to use the fob. Then also, if you need anything out of the trunk, you can't get the hatchback door open. Of course, you can, once you get the doors open, then you can access these by putting the seats down and so forth. Inside, and hatch release on the inside. I'll try to show you now. So I'm going to show you this little hatch you can release without the battery being charged, and it's in this location in the center of where the hatch ties in. There may be a cover on this, so you have to take that off, but this little gold looking thing is the release. You pull up on that. It's on the right side of the opening, and that will release the hatchback. So we then jump started the battery. So you open the hood by pulling up on this lever on the underside of the instrument panel. And there's a little lever here that you pull upon. And then on the driver's side, or the right side as we're facing the car, there's a cover over the fuses, and it's held on by clips on the top and the bottom. Put that aside, and in the fuse box towards the top you'll see a red cover, and it has a plus sign on it, and this is where you can jump start your battery by hooking to this metal plate. So you can either use jumper cables in another vehicle if they're available, or in our case we have a jump starter, 600 peak battery amp jump starter that we got at Aldi's, and I'll leave a link if you want to see the review I did on this, but it's pretty handy. It's only like $30, but you attach the positive to this plate, and then the negative to somewhere like a nut to ground it and we're showing the battery status, and it's not fully charged. So after we replace with the new battery, it should show full charge. And anyway, you turn it on, the on switch here, and then that jumps the battery. And I'm not going to do that now because I've already done that, but that's the way you can jump your battery. And then you can get the engine running and the main batteries, hybrid batteries, charging, and then you can open doors in your tailgate and so forth. So now we're ready to replace the old battery and put in the new battery, which I purchased at AutoZone. Okay, while we're at it, let's test the voltages of this current battery. I can do it from the back, but I can also do it from here. So they're going to take my multimeter and put the red on. Now the black I attached to some grounding point, nut, screw, and I'm only getting a reading of 10.6, and I need a reading of probably 12.6, 12.5, something. I'll check the reading on the battery itself once I get it out, maybe. So I'm using another video. I'm like you guys. When I want to do something, I check videos on YouTube. And this black box here is a brake supply power assembly, and it's held on by these two nuts. Okay, I'm using a 12 millimeter socket. Okay, I didn't have a 10 millimeter socket handy, so I used closed-in wrench, and this thing was on extremely tight. There it is. It's got a washer on it. All these have washers. I'm just laying them right down here for now and leaving my tools there. Okay, so can now move that out of the way. Okay, this plastic housing covers the positive terminal and then the fusible link cover, and it's held on by 3 tabs. Okay, pull that off. There's your tabs. Okay, now we got the battery harness, and it's held in place with 3 10 millimeter fittings. I found my 10 millimeter socket. Okay, this is on very loosely. Make sure you don't drop it. And then this nut here is larger. It's your 12. I thought it was a 10, but it's a 12. Well, I'm having trouble getting this nut off here, so I literally then skipped a step and loosened the nut that's holding on the clamp over the battery terminal. I'm trying to lift the whole battery thing off, and then maybe now I can work on getting this loose. I'll just leave it on there, and the negative is held on by, I can't get to the nut that's holding on. It's a square nut. You have to get to the back side. Maybe I can use a box end wrench. Okay, I used a box end wrench on this to get this loose, the negative terminal. So now we're ready to, well, I'm going to take this vent piece off, and we can lift it out. Okay, so the vent is held on here by a 10mm bolt, and then in here. And that bolt is very loose in there for some reason. Okay, it's got a washer on it. Let's put it over here. You can lift this up if you need to get to the bolt. Okay, be careful of that, because you want to drop that bolt. It may drop right down here with the batteries. That may not be a big deal, but okay, so we've got to take this off, and I'm just going to try to just pull that out of the way there. And then we want to take the vent tube off. And it has a little groove, like notch on the bottom, that you have to line up on the new battery, I would say. So let's pull the battery out. Pretty heavy, I'm going to have to use 2 hands. Okay, so here's my new battery. There's the old. You want the negative up next to the back of the car, and these have to be put in so you have the vent, and the vent's only on one end, so that tells you how to put it in. Here's my battery. It's a Duralast Platinum. Got it off another guy's website. I'll leave a link for that. There's the battery compartment with the battery out. So if you did drop that screw, I don't know if you could get, you might be able to get to it, or that nut for the vent. Make sure you get take a look at the vent hole, the way it's positioned. It's a notch here. Okay, that tube goes in kind of at an angle like that. the negative terminal on. Tighten it with this box end of the wrench. Next, we're going to put this cover back on and put the positive terminal on. I just didn't take that nut off because it was so tight I thought I was going to break something. Put this over the back there, line up the front. So tighten this, put in this bolt. Put this nut on here. Okay, tighten the nut on the positive terminal. Okay, now put the vent on. Okay, so now we have to put got this in position, this slid over. I had to remove the vent pipe and then I put it back on. Now we got to screw into this hole here and down here. So the vent's on. Got the terminal covers on, they snap on. I need to put this on. It's held on here and here. Okay, so that's in. Need a screw to go in here, and we got it. So now we're ready to put everything back together. So I'm going to first put this cover over, and there's a groove here this goes into. And then it just snugs down in the corner. Oh, this is a good time to check the tire pressure of your tire since you have all this out. My wife reminded me this is a good time to do this. Okay, there's the top cover. You turn these You turn these 90 degrees to lock them in place. It's got a nice little tab here to pull out. Now, if you had to get to that switch to open the hatchback manually, you would have to take this off. But just this piece, I think. Now we're ready to put the carpet in. There's the carpet in. I have to put the seat up, and it's ready to go. Also realize after I put the battery in and it would start, I came back and couldn't get the hatchback up, and it took me a while to figure out that it's because I didn't have the key fob with me. So make sure you have your key fob on you when you try to open the hatchback after the battery is replaced. Okay, we have lights back on. Push the button. It's started up. So I think we got it fixed. YouTubers. A little harder than I thought. The YouTube videos, which I'll leave links to, make it seem a lot easier. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And this is Old John signing off.